on 6th of April. Also joining on the dais are Ms. Pooja Kapoor, Additional Secretary for Central Europe, and Sri Piyush Srivastav, Additional Secretary for Europe West, and Sri Ajay Singh, the Press Secretary to the President. With that, I now invite Secretary West to brief our friends from the media on the visit.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Namaskar. So I'll be talking about the two very important landmark visits coming up, state visits by President to Portugal and Slovakia. I'll begin by Portugal. This is a historic visit because it comes at a time when we are marking 50 years of the diplomatic relations between our two countries. And it is also 27 years since the last visit by a president from India to Portugal. So it's a very symbolic and landmark visit. The president will be traveling to Portugal at the invitation of His Excellency President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa of Portugal. In fact, President Sousa had visited India in 2020. A year earlier, in 2019, Prime Minister Antonio Costa had visited India. And Prime Minister Modi had visited Portugal in 2017. And also earlier, Prime Minister Costa had visited India in 2017 also. So if we just see last few years, there has been a very, very high-level exchange of visits between India and Portugal, and that shows the degree of high-level engagement that is ongoing between our two countries. Our Prime Ministers, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Montenegro, they had also met recently last year in November in Rio de Janeiro at the sidelines of the G20 summit. Also, just a few months back in December, the Foreign Minister of Portugal, His Excellency Paulo Rangel, had visited India. And External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar had visited Portugal in 2023. So it just shows how strong the political engagement and momentum is of the high-level visits, and coming at a time as we mark 50 years of our diplomatic relations. This visit will take this forward, our friendship and partnership forward. Between India and Portugal, there exists very strong goodwill. There is a long-standing historical context to our ties, very, very strong diaspora links, also unique cultural linkages ranging from food to art and architecture, music, language. Another dimension of the India-Portugal relationship is the India-EU partnership. And there again, the India-Portugal relationship adds to the strength of the India-EU relationship. It's worth noting that during the Portuguese presidency of the EU in the year 2000, the first India-EU summit had been hosted by Portugal. And also in 2021, the first ever India-EU Leaders Summit was hosted under Portuguese presidency. So this relationship has an important role in strengthening the strategic partnership between India and EU. One more dimension at the multilateral and regional level is the association with the CPLP, which is the Community of Portuguese-speaking countries, which has 9 members, and India is an associate member in the CPLP. If we look at the business ties, the trade is of the order of US $1.5 billion, and it has been growing steadily. There has been a 50% growth during the last 5 years. A range of areas of cooperation: renewable energy, IT, pharmaceuticals, education, tourism, and defense. And with Portugal, Portugal was also the first country in Europe with whom India had signed a migration and mobility agreement. For the state visit that is upcoming now, the Honorable Rashtrapati Ji will hold delegation level talks with the counterpart, President D'Souza. The President will also host a banquet dinner in her honor. President will meet Prime Minister Luis Montenegro. She will also meet the Speaker of the Parliament of Portugal, Dr. Jose Pedro Aguiar Branco. She will also, the Mayor of Lisbon will also host a special event in her honor. President will also meet members of the Indian community in Portugal. And she is likely to meet some Indian researchers from various universities and academic institutions. Now I'll turn to the visit to Slovakia. Again, the state visit of President is a historic visit. It is nearly 3 decades, 29 years to be precise, since the last President visit to Slovakia from India. And this is only the second ever state visit from India to Slovakia. In recent years, there has been a lot of political engagement at a very high level. The foreign ministers of Slovakia have visited India during the last 3 years, 2023, 24, and also this year. The visit also comes 30 years after the establishment of the Indian Embassy in Bratislava, which was done in 1995. Foreign Minister Guraj Blanar had visited India recently, and last year the then Foreign Minister Ratislav Kačer had met External Affairs Minister in Vienna. External Affairs Minister had also traveled to Bratislava a year before in 2023. Slovak Minister of Economy, Mr. Karel Hirman, had visited with a business delegation last year. And Foreign Office consultations were also held last year. So with Slovakia also there is a strong political momentum. At the same time, business engagement is going. There is exchange of business delegations. There is significant Indian investment by Indian companies in Slovakia in a range of sectors, from automobiles to engineering to IT. Slovakian businesses are also investing in India, again in very diverse fields, manufacturing, steel, IT hardware, railways, and there are also long-standing defense ties. One of the satellites of Slovakia was launched by an Indian rocket, PSLV, in 2017. The trade is of the order of 1.2 billion euros, and investment is of the order of euro 1.7 billion from India into Slovakia. Coming to the elements of the state visit, there will be delegation level talks and meeting with the counterpart between President and the President of Slovakia, Peter Pellegrini. There will also be a meeting with the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Mr. Robert Fico. Honorable President will also meet the Speaker of the National Council, which is the Parliament of Slovakia, His Excellency Richard Rasi. The President of Slovakia will host a state banquet in the honor of our President, and she will also meet the Indian community. There is I understand, around 6,000 Indians living and working in Slovakia. The relationship also has close cultural basis, cultural ties. There are strong connections and studies of Sanskrit language in Slovakia. Mahatma Gandhi's works have been translated into Slovak language. In one of the recent episodes of Man Ki Baat, Prime Minister Modi had spoken about the translation of Upanishads into Slovak language. And I may mention that in 2022, during the evacuation of Indian students from Ukraine, Slovakia had extended very valuable help. India-Slovakia relations are also important in the context of India-EU partnership. In fact, Slovakia had joined the EU at the time when India and EU had launched the strategic partnership. So both these state visits are coming at an important time in the individual bilateral partnerships. They are coming after a considerable period, but also at a very, very important moment in our partnerships. And these will provide a very strong push to our ties, both with Portugal and with Slovakia. They also reflect India's increasing engagement with individual countries in Europe. We recently had the successful the visit of College of Commissioners led by the EC President. And we have also seen many other high-level visits between India and European partners. So we are very much looking forward to these two state visits by Honorable President to Portugal and Slovakia. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, if there are any questions, floor is open. Siddhant.
Hi, sir. Siddhant from Vion. Sir, in terms of Portugal, its role for India in the European Union, and also, will there be a conversation on India-EU FTA, something that both sides plan to conclude by end of this year? And my second question, on the diaspora component, how much that will be part of the visit, the focus during the President's visit?
Sir, Krishna Mohan Sharma from Bharat Express. Is there any business delegation also traveling with the President of India?
नीरज.
सर, नीरज न्यूज 18 इंडिया से दोनों देशों की तारीखें क्या होंगी? 6 अप्रैल से दौरे की शुरुआत होगी. अगर दोनों देशों की अलग अलग तारीखों की बात करें.
Okay, so I'll start with the dates. The days of engagement for Portugal are 7th and 8th of April, and for Slovakia, 9th and 10th April. There'll be a business component, especially in Slovakia, for which there will be Indian business people also traveling. On the question regarding the India-EU partnership, as I mentioned, Portugal has always played a very important role in deepening the India-EU partnership. I had mentioned that way back in 2000, during the Portuguese presidency, the first India-EU summit had been hosted by them. And also 2021, the first ever leaders summit between India and EU, where all the leaders from all individual EU partner countries had attended this summit. So the India-Portugal relationship has a very strong India-EU element of India-EU partnership. You referred to the possibility of discussion. Yes, the areas of all areas of mutual interest will be discussed. About the India-EU FTA, as you would remember, during the recent visit of the College of Commissioners led by the President of EC, Ms. Ursula von der Leyen, both the leaders, Prime Minister Modi and the President of European Commission, had decided that to direct their teams to finalize the India-EU FTA within this year. So that has been a very clear direction, and the negotiations are ongoing. Both teams are taking forward the process very in a very strong manner, and we are very hopeful that the FTA will be finalized soon. The question regarding, and as you may know, the Trade Commissioner from the European Commission side is Mr. Maros, who has been discussing with the Commerce and Industries Minister also they've had meetings, and he's from Slovakia. In terms of diaspora links, we've had, because of our historical links, very close, very strong diaspora links. It is estimated that perhaps 120,000 persons of Indian origin are living in Portugal, and that's a very substantial number for a country which has a population of 10 million. And they have the Indian diaspora has been, active in all sectors in Portugal. So whether all cross sections of public life, ranging from government to diplomacy to politics to business, entrepreneurs, educationists, jurists. So it's a very, very vibrant community. A very large sections of this community come from, they come from all over India, but also in significant numbers from Goa, from Gujarat, from Punjab. So the former Prime Minister of Portugal, His Excellency Antonio Costa, as you know, he is of Indian origin. He is currently the President of the European Council. He is also a recipient of the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman. So all this reflects the very close diaspora links that exist between India and Portugal.
One more. Yeah. Rishabh.
Secretary, good evening. Rishabh from Times Now. So, in diplomacy, if President is traveling, there has to be something with the timing of this visit. Is there anything significant about the timing of this visit? If we can have an in-depth knowledge about what is behind the visit, why now, and what are we trying to achieve from this visit?
Jayanti.
Good evening, sir. Sir, what is the engagement that's planned with the Indian diaspora in both Portugal and in Slovakia?
उसके बाद पिछले साल वहाँ के विदेश मंत्री भी आए थे और उन्होंने भी जो हमारे वाणिज्य मंत्री हैं, विदेश मंत्री से तमाम मुद्दों पर बातचीत हुई थी। कुछ चाहे वो डिजिटल इंफ्रा हो, ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन हो, तमाम मुद्दों पर सहमतियां बनी थी कुछ। तो अभी जो राष्ट्रपति जी का दौरा होने जा रहा है, तो उन सहमतियों को क्या कुछ अनुबंध में तब्दील होने की संभावना है? कुछ हम MOUs और करने जा रहे हैं, जो सहमतियाँ खासतौर पर दिसंबर की विजिट में बनी थी, जो उनके विदेश मंत्री आए थे।
So, about the timing of the visit, yes, of course, as I mentioned, both are very, very significant. If you look at the state visit to Portugal, it comes at a time when we are celebrating 50 years landmark of establishment of our diplomatic relations, and that is a very, very important signal. It also gives a signal how what I mentioned was the series of high-level engagement that have taken place in the last 7 to 8 years. It reflects that the momentum is strongly carried forward. We value our partnership with Portugal, and this visit, which at the president level comes after nearly 27 years, gives a very, very important signal, and it has significance not only in the bilateral context but also India, EU, and the CPLP and other multilateral contexts. Similarly, for Slovakia, the state visit comes. This is only the second ever visit by a president from India to Slovakia. Slovakia is also an important EU member. The visit comes after nearly 29 years. So it again shows although it builds upon the recent visits by foreign minister level and other ministers level, but coming at a head of state level, it conveys a very, very important signal as to the importance that both countries hold of this partnership. It also, both the countries are, as I mentioned, important EU members, and as we upgrade our partnership even further with the European Union, which was recently evidenced during the visit of the President of European Commission, all these things contribute to each other, and that reflects the timing and the significance of both India-Portugal and India-Slovakia partnership coming at this time. आपने पूछा था पुर्तगाल के जो अभी रिसेंट वार्तालाप हुआ था हमारे प्रधानमंत्री